Hey everyone, it is Leah and I blog over at My Favorite Adventure and it is time for the Golden Vlog. This month I'm back to filming on my webcam. I'm just going to do one take, get it all done with it in one shot, and not going to do any editing, so hopefully this goes better than it sometimes does when I'm editing. Because daylight savings time is killing me. Like, I go to work at 8:30, so it's light out when I go to work, but I get home at 4:30 and it's like pitch black by the time I get home, so I have to do all my pictures for my blog on the weekend, and I'm bad at planning ahead, so I really got to get it together. Yeah, so that's why I'm filming on my computer. My husband and I just got home from Applebee's. We went out for Veterans Day with a couple of our friends because Tyler and his friend Kyle got to eat for free because they're veterans, so that was exciting. I'm very full. So after I'm done filming this, Tyler and I are going to watch a movie and go to sleep, which sounds like a very good night to me. So, all that to say, let's talk about the questions for this month. Oh, and of course I don't have them up on my phone because that's how prepared I am for this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this month it is all about jobs, and I think it'll be very interesting to hear about everybody's different jobs. So the first one is, what is your current job? I am the secretary at the church that I have gone to my entire life. I just started there, well, I guess it's been 6 months now. April, May, June, July, August, September. Well, it's been 8 months. I love it. It came out of the blue. The story of me getting this job is totally a God thing. It's amazing. I love it there. It's not what I saw myself doing. I never saw myself working in ministry, but here I am, and I'm loving it. I do a lot of different things. I do regular, secretary type things, like answering the phone, answering church emails, doing mailings, all of that. But I also do some event planning, and I do travel stuff for mission trips. I help with flights and hotels and stuff like that. A lot of really random stuff too. But yeah, that's what I do, and it's fun. What was your very first job? My very first paying job was at an ice cream stand in my hometown. I grew up going there my entire life. It was my parents' favorite place to go. It's called Dairy Treat, which I say is a ghetto version of Dairy Queen, which is actually a really good description. I worked there for 5 summers, which is the longest job I've ever had. I loved it. Free ice cream. When we had cable TV in there, so if it was slow, we just watched TV. Best job ever. We didn't get many complaints because everybody who's going to get ice cream is happy. Let's be real. So it's probably my favorite job that I've ever had. Growing up, what did you want to be? I think when I was growing up, I always said a teacher, which is hilarious because I would never be a teacher now. Absolutely not. I have my degree in English, and everybody who finds that out is oh, you want to be a teacher? No, absolutely not. So that's what I wanted to be when I grew up. If you could have any job in the world, what would you do? Oh my gosh. What would I do? Well, I've always wanted to work for a book publisher, so I think being an editor would be so fun. You get to pick well, not necessarily. Sometimes there's acquisition editors, but you might get to pick what manuscripts you work with. You get to work with the author and all that cool stuff. I think that'd be so much fun. What job would you definitely not want to have? I would say anything in the medical profession. I'm not squeamish by any means. I can deal with blood, whatever, but it's too high stress for me. I feel like I would be freaking out a lot. If somebody is dying in front of me and I have the means to save them, I would just be freaking out, just because somebody's life is potentially in your hands. So I wouldn't want that kind of responsibility. Is there a certain profession that you admire a lot? That being said, I very much admire the medical profession. My older sister is a nurse, and seeing her go through the process of even becoming a nurse, going to school, doing clinicals, like her stories of all the things that she has to do, just inspires me so much. In the medical profession, they do so much, and way more than I'd ever be able to do. So I very much admire people who work in the medical field. What qualities do you think makes a good leader or boss? Our church staff, well, our pastoral staff, we just went to a leadership convention last week, and I was in their staff meeting this last week taking notes for some people who weren't there, and they were going over the conference and what they took away from it. So I've actually kind of been thinking about it since, and I think a good leader is a good listener. Nobody likes a boss who doesn't listen to them. Like, somebody who will listen to your complaints, will listen to your suggestions, all of that, because a leader who is defensive is no fun to be around. A leader who doesn't want to change their own ideas is no fun to be around. So I think that's the biggest quality that I think makes a good boss. Let's see. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you at work? Oh my gosh. Funniest thing. Well, at my new job, I don't really know if I have any funny stories yet, just because I haven't been there super long. At Dairy Treat, though, there was always some really weird people that came in. I can't think of anything specific, but the ice cream stand was on the sketchier side of town, so there was always you'd never know who you're gonna get there. It's I don't know. I can't think of any stories. I probably will as soon as I'm done filming this, but that's my life. What advice would you give to current students? I think that's actually a good question. When I first read it, I was like, that has nothing to do with anything, but I actually think it's good. I think what I would say is, if you're in college, pick something and stick with it. I saw so many people change their majors 3, 4, 5 times, and they ended up getting their bachelor's degree in 7 years. That's not fun, and that is a waste of money. I'm sorry. One of my biggest, what was really important to me when I chose my degree was that I was going to pick one thing, and I was going to stick to it. That's why I chose English, because I liked it, and it's a very general degree, so I could use it for a lot of different things. So there are people who know exactly what they want to do, and they know exactly how to get it, and that's fine if you choose a really specialized degree. But for people like me, who I had no idea what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, which is, I feel, the majority of college students, pick something general that you can cater to some of your interests. So talk about what you're interested, or write down what you're interested in, and then pick a degree that could fit all of those things, which easier said than done. But for me, I liked reading, I like writing, I like editing, and that's what an English degree is. And I could use it for a ton of different things, which is really good. So that's what I would recommend. What's the worst job you ever had? Oh, well, I've had 4 jobs. Dairy Treat was my favorite and my first. I then worked at Kohl's department store, and then I worked at a call center. I'd actually probably say that the call center was my worst job. I liked it for a while. I worked there almost 2 years. For about a year, I was in the call center taking calls, and then I was promoted to quality assurance, where I was reviewing the calls and basically grading the person taking the call. And I liked that more, but the company, it was a really big company, but the management there, nobody was valuable necessarily. Like, if you had concerns and you were thinking about quitting, like, they were like, okay, like, fine, like, we can hire somebody tomorrow that will replace you. Like, there was never anybody that they wanted to keep. Like, I don't want to complain about work on here because I'm done with that job. I don't need to complain about it anymore. So that's all I'm going to say. It was, you just never felt like your work was valuable. Even if you were doing a good job, it's like you could be the best worker there in your department, and then if you're like, you know, I'm worth more than this, I want a raise. Like, I've been doing really good, I have these really good scores, like, I deserve a raise. It'd be like, nope, like, if you want to quit because you don't get a raise, fine, we'll hire somebody that will take the salary that you're getting. So it was very upsetting in that way. But on that note, that is all the questions. I have been rambling for way too long. I'm going to watch a movie and fall asleep because I am so tired. But I'm so excited to watch everyone's videos. I love doing it. That's my favorite part of the link up, is just watching everybody's videos and hearing everybody's voices and getting to know people more. So I am very excited. That is all from me. Have a great rest of your night. Bye!